We are going to start right now, and for our official welcome, we will start with Mayor Arunan Arulapalon.
Well, welcome to the City of Hartford, and welcome to HHS. We are so proud of all of our Health and Human Services employees, and there's a big group of them there. Before I start, can we just give them a round of applause? Thank you to all the work you do, and thank you, Governor and Lieutenant Governor and Commissioner, for being here. WIC is such an important program in this city. Our family have been WIC recipients. We've been foster parents, and foster parents are also recipients of WIC. But we've also, we've had a ton of medical advice around children. We've had to buy baby formula, a ton of baby formula. And I can remember when my kids were babies, and they still feel like babies. But I remember all the formula we'd carry around in our backpacks with us. And I remember going to community events here in Hartford and talking to families who just couldn't afford to give their babies formula, and would talk about all of the things that they would mix in to their formula to just be able to feed their babies. And in this day and age, I think one thing we should all be able to get around is having food security for our infants and our children as they grow. It has real impacts. The investments we make in our young folks, especially at that birth to 3 age, has long-term educational impacts. It has short-term nutritional impacts and long-term nutritional impacts. Babies should be able to eat. It shouldn't be a controversial statement in this day and age, and I'm so proud that we live in a state with a governor and lieutenant governor and government that believes that while the federal government is cutting back on basic aid to families that need it, the things that just work in our society, that believe that they should double down on it. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your commitment to Hartford kids and to all families across the state, Governor. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. It's my pleasure to introduce our Department of Public Health Commissioner, Dr. Manisha Jutani.
So thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about this really important program, WIC, or Women, Infants, and Children, that we run through the Department of Public Health. We have 9 different contractors throughout the state, 22 different sites, reaching over 52,000 people in our state, 30,000 of whom are children, 11,000 women, 11,000 infants. And the WIC program supports food assistance. It is a nutritional program to be able to help those groups get access to dairy products, whole wheat products, beans, tofu, peanut butter. These are essential components to live a healthy and nutritious life. And especially for new moms, when you are starting to breastfeed, it can be very challenging and you need support. And the WIC program helps provide that one-on-one support to be able to help somebody who's trying to breastfeed and do what they need to do to take care of their infant, really have those supports all around them. And for anybody who's tried to do it, I think we all know it can be challenging and you have bumps on the road, and having that helping hand right there goes a long, long way. And in the state of Connecticut, 92% of women in the WIC program actually start out breastfeeding. And we as a state were actually recognized by the federal government and got a bonus, an award, because of our high breastfeeding rates. So those are the types of supports that have been able to help us sustain this program for as long as we have. It costs $200,000 a day to run this program and to feed people who are in this program. And I'm very grateful to our government here in the state of Connecticut for recognizing its importance, because those changes that happen in those very first few days and weeks of life can have impacts forever. Hunger and lack of growth that happens in those early days of life and early years up to the age of 5 can change the entire trajectory of your life. So this WIC program is essential to helping some of the most vulnerable in our state And I'm very grateful that we're here today to recognize how the state of Connecticut is helping to ensure that we continue to make that happen. Thank you.
Commissioner, thank you so much, and good morning to everyone, and thank you all so much for coming today. We know that there are a lot of families, especially mothers, who are very concerned. They're very confused, and they're uncertain about whether they will be able to continue getting their WIC benefits during this federal shutdown. There's no more critical nutrition program than WIC because it provides essential nutritional support for mothers, for children up to the age of 5, and for babies. And I think it's worth repeating. Here in Connecticut, we have 52,000 people who rely on WIC for nutrition. Of that 52,000, 30,000 are children that are under the age of 5, 11,000 are infants, and 11,000 are pregnant or nursing women. And we're very proud to say today that our state will continue WIC benefits, and we will fund WIC through our state reserves. And I think we are very lucky to live in a state that has had fiscally responsible leadership from our governor, Ned Lamont. We are able to continue funding this program even during a federal shutdown because we've been fiscally responsible. We have a very large rainy day fund, and we are not going to let women and babies and children go hungry in our state. We know that not every state is in this situation, and not every state is going to step up and continue this program. But when times are tough, as they are right now, it's really important that we continue to support WIC because it reduces food insecurity. It makes sure that moms who are nursing and pregnant have the nutrition that they need, and that infants and children from low-income families have the food that they need to thrive. And so today we're here to say in the strongest possible way that no family, no low-income family should be concerned, that every mom, child, and infant on the WIC program will continue to receive their benefits because Connecticut has always been a state that will stand up to support our women, children, and families, regardless of what's happening in Washington. So, thank you so much, and it's my pleasure to introduce the City of Hartford Health and Human Services Director, Ebony Jackson Shahid. Ebony.
Thank you, everyone. I want to thank Governor Lamont, Commissioner Giussani, our Lieutenant Governor, and the Mayor for being here and bringing awareness to this program. I just want everyone to give them a round of applause, too, because they are here on the front line supporting this work, so thank you very much. So today I just want to talk about a vital program that builds the foundation for our city's future. And this is the special supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children known as WIC. In a city like Hartford, where economic challenges can often stand between a family and a full table, WIC is far more than a food program. And I know because my family was a recipient of WIC, especially being the oldest of 7 children and the second oldest of 12, we definitely benefited from the WIC program. WIC steps in during critical and vulnerable stages of life. It ensures that low-income pregnant women, new mothers, infants, and young children under the age of 5 receive the supplemental foods that they need to stay healthy and thrive. And in Hartford, where childhood obesity rates are a concern, WIC plays an important role by promoting healthier eating from the start. It not only provides nutritious foods such as fruits and vegetables and whole grains, but it really sets a child on the path for a lifetime of health. And so WIC provides more than just food. We're talking a lot about the food provisions, but it connects families to essential health services, including immunizations and prenatal care. This network of support helps ensure that mother's pregnancy is a healthy one and that the child receives great medical attention and need. And so there's much evidence out there of WIC's success. Research has shown that WIC participation is linked to healthier births, improved academic outcomes, and significant healthcare costs. So what I will say is if you are a Hartford resident in need of prenatal care or postnatal support, please come and visit us here at 131 Coventry Street, where we also have the MyOut program, which is a prenatal program as well. And if you cannot come in person and you want more information, please visit us at hartford.gov for more information. Thank you so much, and stay aware.
Ebony, thank you so much. And finally, it's my pleasure to introduce our governor, Ned Lamont.
Did you say you're the second oldest of 12?
Wow.
Man, your mother could be a professor of WIC counseling. And I want to thank each and every one of you over here for what you're doing on behalf of these young families who are getting started, the love and care that you bring, not just nutritional advice, but the counseling and everything that they need. And as Susan said, there's a lot of anxiety out there. People aren't sure what's going on with this shutdown and how it will affect us. And Susan and I wanted to make sure that Connecticut is one of the, sadly, very few states in the country stepping up, making sure you're a new mom, you got kids under the age of 5, an infant, we're taking care of you. And the WIC program will continue, and we'll make sure it continues until the federal government gets this act together. And this is part of something we've been trying to do as a state to make sure that Connecticut stays the most family-friendly state in the country. And that starts, as Ebony said, with prenatal support, being able to come in here, get nutrition support, counseling, breastfeeding support, get the food, nutritious food that you may need going forward. Make sure that you can take advantage of paid family and medical leave so mom and dad can spend a little time with their newborn. Probably the most ambitious early childhood program in the country, making sure that your kid gets the very best head start in life. And we're trying to do this despite a federal government that's no help at all. We're expanding Head Start. They're cutting back on Head Start. They're not funding WIC, or we'll see what they do. You know, we're making sure that this is something you can count upon. You know, as I look around, you know, the region of the country and I see the impact of this shutdown, thankfully Bradley Airport's going pretty well right now, but you know, you got a lot of air traffic controllers who are working and not getting paid, and you see just extraordinary delays and risk. I was just at sending off our National Guard. No, they're not going to Chicago. They're going to Djibouti and other places in the Middle East, doing everything they can to make sure the peace is there. And they came up and kept saying, am I going to get paid on October 15th? Is somebody going to be looking out for my family? Because I'll be a long way away. And I want to make sure that each and every one of you know that we're here to take care of you, just like you're taking care of, what is it, about 6,000 kids and moms every year right out of the center, 50,000 around the state. Thank God for everything you're doing.
Thank you. All right, so we are happy to take on-topic questions.
So essentially, the state is going to continue to pay for these benefits. You guys will get billed, and then, like I think Secretary Beckham explained last week, some sort of accounts receivable, some sort of accounting measures will be taken. But long and short is, once the federal government reopens, Connecticut would be reimbursed. Is that the anticipation? We'll sort of cover this until we get paid.
Yes, $200,000 a day. We're stepping up, making sure that nobody misses a beat. We anticipate the federal government will reimburse us, but you're never quite sure.
Well, what happens if they don't?
It's important that pregnant moms and babies get nutrition.
I understand that. I'm saying, what happens fiscally if they don't? What happens to, how do you Do you do
I
a
take one step at
deficiency
a time.
appropriation?
Right now, we're taking care of people. I'd like to think that this shutdown ends pretty soon. October 15th is a pretty tough date for an awful lot of people. All of a sudden, aren't going to get paid. In the meantime, we're taking care of you, and you're taking care of kids.
And I just wanted to get the Hartford stats. Did you say 6,000 women and children a year are served through the WIC program here?
So about 6,100, yes.
6,100.
Yes.
Wow. And has that number gone up or down in recent years?
So that number has been pretty stable over the last couple of years, yes.
And what would it mean if there wasn't this state fallback for your program?
So if there was no state fallback, then we would pretty much probably be looking at shutdown very soon. And so that's what we're here to bring awareness to. We're so appreciative that our state government is willing to step up and back this program so that women and children can continue to receive services.
And Dr. Giustani, I saw on the DPH website there's a notice that says, WIC benefits are continuing. You can use your card, keep your appointments. Have you seen any kind of change in utilization since the questions about the program's future have arisen?
Luckily, business seems to be going as usual. So there have not been hiccups. People have been able to utilize benefits as expected. And we have continued to work with our partners who are doing the work on the ground, and it seems like people are continuing to come in. We have not seen any major challenges yet. Because of the questions around the federal government, we wanted to make sure that people knew that they could come in and continue to receive those efforts, because the reality is if we did not have the backing of the state, we would have to issue stop work orders at some point. As the health department where the money flows through. So it's because of this backing that we're able to continue providing the money and the services, and people have continued coming in.
Governor, can you talk a little bit about your thinking behind the rainy day fund and why that's been such a priority for you, thinking about situations like the one we're in now?
I was just meeting with a lot of fellow governors this weekend, and a lot of them don't have the reserves, and their WIC programs are in danger of shutting down. I can't make up for all the federal shortfall, obviously, but we're trying to do what we can to give people assurances that we can keep going, at least for the near term. And that's what this WIC program is about, and that's one of the reasons we have a special reserve.
And can you talk about any other priority areas? You mentioned Bradley Airport as a concern. Are you considering, paying those air traffic controllers out of the rainy day fund or any other services at this time?
No, I don't think I can sit around paying all the federal employees who are not getting paid by the federal government. What we can do is we have a fair number of federally subsidized employees here across state government, over 1,500, and that's the group that's taking care of state business every day, and there we're continuing the fund. Thanks.
Latinos in Connecticut are disproportionately affected and are one of the main groups that benefit from WIC and SNAP. Over the weekend, the Latino Summit, many Latinos were talking about the fact that not only they're worried about this going away, and thankfully the state is taking care of that, but also worried about healthy foods being provided, right, and making efforts to make sure that healthy foods are an option for people, that they're accessible, affordable, even through ways of making sure that affordable foods are available in places like bodegas where people can afford to get food. Is there any efforts in this front to make sure that these communities are being taken care of?
Sure. So the good thing about WIC is people can use their cards in their own communities to purchase whole grain products, cereals, to purchase peanut butter, soybean products, vegetables, fruits, things that are formula, which is critical and very expensive. So we just want people in every community to know that. So we appreciate your getting the message out in Spanish, because that's really important, particularly in our biggest cities where we have so many WIC recipients.
We have an initiative here in Hartford that the director can speak to.
Sure.
So there also is an initiative at the City of Hartford with some of the hospitals, and the city is a partner, and it's called basically the Healthy Bodegas Initiative, where we are trying to bring in healthier options such as produce to certain bodegas. So right now it's a pilot. I'm not sure if you're aware of the one that is in New York. It's very popular with a lot of bodegas, but we're trying to bring something like that into Hartford. I know that Waterbury has finished their pilot, and so I think that it'll be a real benefit for the community.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.